Hi, I'm Chana Mizrahi, the CEO of Mazet Wigs, and there is one question that I have found myself answering so frequently recently that I decided to make a video addressing it. The question is, does covering your hair cause hair loss? And there's no simple yes or no answer to that question. The answer is basically it can, but it shouldn't. So first let's talk about the reasons it can, and then we'll talk about the reasons it shouldn't. So one reason that it can, and an argument that I see online very frequently, which interestingly seems to always only, actually I've been told this to my face also, seems to only come from people who don't actually cover their hair, is that it's not healthy to cover your hair. The scalp needs to breathe. This is true. The scalp does need to breathe. And if you are covering your hair with something that does not allow your scalp to breathe, that is indeed very unhealthy. So I have never encountered or heard of anybody who actually does cover her or his. Let's not forget that in some cultures it is the men who cover their hair, or it is also the men who cover their hair. I've never heard of anyone who covers his or her hair with anything that creates a hermetic or non-breathable seal. But if somebody is doing that, they should stop. Not stop covering their hair, but stop covering their hair with that, because that is very unhealthy. The scalp does need to breathe. The hair does not necessarily. Once it leaves your scalp, it really, this is not, well, this is a wig, but if it were attached to my head, this would not be the living part. It's the roots that are still in the follicle and attached to the scalp. That's the part that's really alive and needs to be cared for properly in a healthy way. Not that this doesn't need to be cared for also, it does, but it's different. It doesn't need to breathe in the same way. So now that we've addressed that, let's talk about the ways that people do cover their hair, who do cover their hair. People cover with hats, with scarves, with beanies, with turbans, and of course, with wigs. So when they cover with scarves, usually it's something like this. So this is a cotton scarf. As you could see, it's thin. It is made of, other than the metallic threads, it is 100% cotton. Usually it gets folded over into, some people fold it into a rectangle. I like to fold it into a triangle. Sometimes I wear scarves as well. I don't always wear a wig. And then you might see it like this, and then the ends are tied. Actually, you could do this over a wig as well. And that makes a cute, fashionable look. Or you could do it with all your hair inside as well. So that's one way. Now, this is a thin, gauzy material, and cotton is famously breathable. Think like a light summery cotton blouse. If your summery cotton blouse is not breathable, I suggest a wardrobe change. A dressier look for people who cover with scarves might be something like this. Maybe a beautiful satin scarf. Again, also, it's a garment. It's a piece of fabric. If your silky or satin garment, see, it's very thin and soft. If your silky or satin garment is not breathable, and when you are fully clothed, you feel that your skin doesn't breathe, I suggest a wardrobe change. And then there are wigs. let's look inside a wig cap and let's see what wigs are made of. So it's hair, obviously. This is human hair. If you have hair on your head, it is extremely unlikely that it's thick enough that your scalp won't be able to breathe. As the designer of every single one of these wigs, I can assure you that none of these are thick enough that your scalp won't breathe. They're a very normal density. Now the inside materials, there's the top part, which is made of a Swiss lace mesh. Lace, of course, is very breathable. You see it has all these little holes in it. And then it has this thin silk lining. You could see how thin that is. It's real silk. Silk is very breathable. It's a natural material. And then this is a stretchy, elasticized mesh. See, also little holes in it. Plenty of opportunity for airflow. It's very breathable. So certainly nothing is sealed inside. Everything is very breathable. Now, some ladies choose, or men wear wigs too sometimes, choose to wear a cap such as this underneath. And this is made out of bamboo cotton, which is also very breathable. It's like an ultra thin t-shirt. Again, it's like a garment. Hopefully your garments are breathable. And if they're not, once again, I suggest a wardrobe change. So if you are a person who doesn't cover your hair, and you have ever taken it upon yourself to suggest to someone who does cover their hair that it's extremely unhealthy for them to do so because their scalp needs to breathe, please just know that you sound extremely ignorant. And hopefully you know a little bit better now and know to be a little more respectful. You don't have to agree with it, and you certainly don't have to start covering your own hair. None of us want or expect you to do that for yourself. Just hopefully you can respect that some of us do that for ourselves, and it's okay. It's not hurting anybody. Moving on, another actually realistic and common reason that covering the hair can cause hair loss is tension alopecia. This is a reason that it shouldn't cause hair loss, but it can. And this has to do with the ways that you cover your hair. So whether you cover with a scarf or a wig or a snood, less likely with a hat, because a hat more sits on the wig, on the head, I'm sorry. But anything that you have that can be pulling anywhere on the hair rather than sitting on the head does have the potential to cause hair loss. So some people who wear wigs secure them with these clips. And these clips, I'm not saying they cause hair loss because they don't necessarily, but if they're placed carelessly, depending how they're worn, some also have combs in the front or at the sides, and depending how they're worn, they can be pulling at the hair. So that can certainly cause hair loss, especially over time. Especially if the wig doesn't fit well, and especially if it's a heavier wig. These are all very low density and therefore very lightweight wigs. And some others are too, some other brands, but not every wig is necessarily like that. Some are very heavy, especially some older brands, older designs. So if you're wearing a heavier wig, and every wig here is custom fitted, custom sized to the head of whoever buys it, if that's a retail client. We do both retail and wholesale. But not everybody does that. So if you have a heavier wig and it wasn't custom fitted to your head, and it doesn't fit you properly, whether it's big or small, it can be pulling on your hair. And if it has clips or combs, it can be pulling even more. So that certainly can cause tension alopecia. Scarves also can cause tension alopecia. People wear them too tightly. People fail to secure them properly, so they're constantly slipping back. Depending on the material, the ones I just showed are lightweight scarves, but some people wear heavier scarves, and if it's a heavier one and it's always slipping back, and then you're adjusting it, you're pushing it forward, and then it slips again, or how you have your hair up underneath. If you have a heavy bun with a tight scrunchie that has a metallic thing in it that's pulling also, certainly the way you have your hair up can also cause tension alopecia, just like anybody can with any hairstyle, but you are making it a little bit worse by having a head covering causing additional pulling as well. So I do recommend paying close attention to how you have your hair underneath your head covering, and also how you have your head covering secured on your head. If it doesn't feel good, it's not good. It should feel good. Too many people think that it's supposed to be uncomfortable and you're supposed to feel it on your head. It's not supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to feel very comfortable. Maybe not if you're wearing a big confection of half a dozen different scarves and one of them is a pashmina, and then you draped a necklace across it and then you put a tiara on top of it. Okay, that's a lot of weight. There's no way that's supposed to be comfortable. You clearly did it for show and not for comfort, so enjoy. You're a queen, that's your crown. It's gorgeous. It's not designed for comfort. But otherwise, assuming it's just a more average look like a wig or a single scarf or two scarves, it should be comfortable. So I recommend trying to find the right wig grip. Wig grips are not ideal for everybody, but they are ideal for most people. And there are so many different designs. I have a video all about wig grips. Go check it out. It includes why they may have not worked for you. So see if you can find the right one. They're not just for wigs, despite their name. They're also great for scarves, snoods, beanies, and other head coverings. And if you wear a wig, take it to someone who is a fit expert. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to recommend somebody, or you can come meet with me personally. We could also do a video call if you're long distance and help you with this, see if your wig is fitted properly. Sometimes it might seem like it doesn't fit you properly, when in fact the issue is just how your hair is distributed underneath it. I've actually seen that a lot. So I do troubleshoot a lot with people, and I'd be happy to do that for you as well. So these are very important things to look at, and sometimes it is in fact the particular head covering. I know that I personally cannot wear certain headbands on my head just because of the shape of my head. Certain headbands are going to be constantly slipping back no matter what I do, and when they slip back, they're pulling hair from the most vulnerable part of my head, the hairline. So you also have to pay attention and recognize that certain types of head coverings just might not be for you. And that's okay. You'll adapt and you'll figure out what is for you. There are so many options. You're going to find something that works that you also love. So I hope this was helpful and informative for you. If there's anything you'd like to discuss further, please feel free to reach out. I'm always here for you.